Hello, and this is Zoe, and in this video I'm going to be talking about our intuition, how it can help us and how we can develop it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what is our intuition? What actually is it? So first of all, the actual word intuition means inner teacher. Many people call it by many different things, and you will hear people talking about it. And I feel this is becoming a more accepted thing, really, or accepted aspect of ourselves. So some people call it their spider senses, their gut feeling, something they're drawn to doing, they get hit to do, their instinct. All these sorts of things. They all mean the same thing. This inner guidance, this inner voice that kind of comes through in different ways for us, and gives us guidance basically on a way forward for a particular situation or circumstance. So our intuition is something that we all have. We're all born with it, but unfortunately, a lot of us choose not to listen to it, and yet it's such a powerful tool for us. And I always say to my clients, it gives you everything that you need to make those perfect decisions for yourselves in the moment. So it is a tool that is really, really good to develop, to listen to, and pay attention to. And I always say to my clients as well, sometimes when we're a bit stuck and we don't know the way forward, and we're feeling very emotional about a tricky situation or circumstance that we might find ourselves in, we tend to talk to other people, don't we, to get their advice and their opinion. Problem with this, and I'm not saying don't ever talk to anyone, obviously talk to people who you trust and you feel have a certain wisdom, but problem is that they come at it from their own point of view and their own emotional perception. So in other words, what might be right for them is not necessarily right for you. But by listening to our intuition, it will always be perfect for you. So as I said, intuition is like our inner guidance, our inner compass. And by listening to it, we get these great ideas and inspirations and perceptions and ways forward to things, and to me, I've been developing my intuitive muscle for a long time now, and I just know deep down that there's always a solution, that's a perfect way forward, and this gives me great confidence and just an inner knowing. And I know that however bad the situation can get, there's always an optimal solution to that. And I know that I have that within. I just need to listen. So, how would I go about developing my intuitive muscle? Well, for me, I think that the best thing you can do is every day take a moment, just take a quiet moment to tune in to your inner self, your inner world. So however you see that, whether you see that as spirit, as light, just an inner child, how everyone experiences and thinks of their inner self differently. And some people may not think they have an inner self, but I definitely do. And I feel that I'm connecting to spirit, and spirit connects and communicates to me through my intuitive language. So I know it's really important to listen and just know. So every day, as soon as I wake up, I go down to my quiet space and make sure I'm not going to be disturbed, and I just sit with intent to listen. I sometimes place my hand over my heart like this, and I just feel this overwhelming feeling of love come to me when I set the intent to listen, and I know that spirit coming in to communicate to me through my intuition. So I know that I'm using my intuition to get that higher guidance, that divine guidance that I need. Now, it isn't just right thing first thing in the morning. It can be any time during the day, but I know I need to be quiet and I need to just focus in, center myself, align myself, and just listen. And that's the important thing, is that you listen. You are open to receive. You still your mind, open to receive and trust. And I know that trust, it's easy for me to say, trust comes with experience. But it will come, and the more you listen to your intuition, and the more you carve out that time, and it becomes your go-to, the more that trust will build, and you will just know, you will simply know when it is your intuitive voice that's coming through for you. And that's a question that brings me to this point, is that's a question I get asked a lot. When do we know? How do we know that it's our intuition and not just wishful thinking that's coming through for us? And I always say, pay attention to your body. How are you feeling? If you're still feeling anxious and fearful and unsure or whatever, it's not your intuition that's come through for you. It's something else, probably your fear thoughts, a good old ego in control and driving that through fear. When it's your intuitive voice, when you're getting that higher guidance, your body will just relax. You'll just know, you notice your physical body. It will just simply relax, and it will feel right. And that's when you know. Now, you're not probably, if you're like me, going to be able to get up tomorrow morning, sit and say, okay, intuition, just give me what you've got. It just, for me, it definitely did not work like that. It took a long time. I'm talking months for it to build up and really be strong, because they're like whispers of the heart. That's how I see them initially. It's very subtle, the messages that come through. So yeah, you have to listen. You have to be open to receive and trusting in what comes through. But it's also a daily practice. It's that will give it that momentum, that will really start to develop that muscle. It's like you can't go out and run a marathon if you've never jogged before. It takes time to practice. The more you listen, the more it will come through for you, the louder it will become. Now, it's not always a voice. For me, it's this feeling of love, and then it's a voice that comes through that just doesn't stop. It flows, and I know that it's not me thinking. It's beyond me. But for some people, they get a feeling, they get an inner feeling, they get an idea that pops into their head like a random, it might seem like a random thought. They may get the same thought several times over in the same day, then they know. They may meet someone that day, they ask a question, they meet someone and that answers their question. They may see something on telly, they may hear something on the radio that just, you just know. It's like you get this inner knowing, that's right, that's been answered for me. Everything is answered. It might not be immediately. I almost feel like I've got this hotline going on now. So if I want to connect in, and if I'm centered and aligned, I will get the guidance. I always do. But because I've been building up over a long time. But everything will get answered. It may take a few days, but it will get answered. So just be patient. It will come. And it's just being able to recognize it as well as it is, and try not to doubt it, because again, it's like sending a strong sign to the universe, or call it what you will, that you're ready, you're open to receive, and the universe will just simply send you more, more of your intuition, more of your higher guidance. So hopefully this has helped, and this will this will help you in some way, if this is a way that you want to work more in. So I did have a couple more things to say, in that, it is important to be very specific as well. If you have a question, be specific, just a short, concise question, because if you kind of go on and on and on, the question will be lost. So be specific with your question. You can say it out loud. That's really important. That's really powerful. Saying it out loud. Please help me. Please give me guidance on blah. What's a good way to go forwards with this? Blah, blah, blah. But always be specific. Maybe say it out loud. And journal. You can actually write down your question as well. That's a really good way of doing it. And I have a journal by my bedside. I sometimes have a notebook in my bag if I'm working on something in particular. I have journals, notebooks in my workspace as well. So all of these things will help you to develop that intuitive muscle and help you to ask for guidance. I hope this has helped. Don't forget to download your asking for guidance visualization, because that will also help with this technique as well, and developing the intuitive muscle.